Well, good morning. This is February the 24th, 2014. It's a beautiful Saturday. You have to excuse me. I'm still trying to go with effects of pneumonia. Today it's about 45 degrees right now. I'm fixing to turn on Highway 77. I'm at Waldo, Alabama, and I am heading towards Porter's Gap to hike with a group called Waldo, Alabama. There's Waldo's town hall and volunteer fire department. The great city and township of Waldo. I'm fixing to be turning on 77, headed towards Porter's Gap. I'll be hiking on the Pinhoti for a round trip of 6 miles. Let me hold my camera right. Hiking with a group called Wild Alabama that is connected with Anniston Outdoor Association, or at least they advertise this hike on their web page or their Facebook page. So I'm looking forward to it. The last hike I had with Anniston Outdoor Association was a wonderful hike, and enjoyed it very much. So I'm called last weekend, so I didn't get to go hiking. So I'm excited about getting out there and getting out in the woods in the great state of Alabama on the Pinhoti Trail. Pinhoti Trail is a beautiful trail. If you have never hiked it, I would highly recommend it. It's got a lot of beautiful challenges, a lot of beautiful features. It goes over Sheehall Mountain through the Talladega National Forest, many lakes and creeks and creek crossings, and just beautiful vistas. We're going to be hiking from Porter's Gap to Jogama Lake or Scotts Lake. I looked upon Trail Forks, and there's a little water feature they called the water fountain. It's a little waterfall. Looking forward to that. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that water features are one of my favorites. And beautiful vistas and water features. So we'll be hiking today. I don't know if I will know anybody hiking, but I look forward to hiking with new people and get to know people out on the trail. I'm getting hiking with my Talon 22 today. It'll be my third hike with it. The first hike I didn't like. The second hike I got used to it. So I hope today me and that Talon 22 is going to marry up and have a good hike. I will be hiking with my Montum carbon trekking poles. I really enjoy those. So, but I'm heading towards Porter's Gap. I'm looking forward to this hike. Been looking forward to it all week long, just getting out into the great outdoors of Alabama and exploring what God has made and created and has offered us to go out and enjoy. All right, well, I will cut back on when I get on the trail, and I'll give you the reports and the views and all the beautiful things about the Pinhoti Trail. This is the trailhead at Porter's Gap, Talladega National Forest. I know I said in the intro I didn't know if it was part of the Talladega National Forest, but apparently it is. Have a good group of 16 people, 3 dogs, so total of 16 participants. We are headed, I'm gonna fix the camera. We're heading southbound on the Pinhoti, headed towards Jogama Lake. So looking forward to this hike. And you know me, my favorite word on the trail is going to be beautiful, and I know that this trail will be beautiful. I watched a fella from Alabama that goes by, it's JBN Hikes on YouTube. He hiked this a while back. He did a very good video of it. So I've been, after looking at it last night, I've been looking forward to hiking this trail. It's virgin to me. I've never been on this section of the Pinhoti. So got a lot of people, so the train of people are going to be long. And I like to stay, I'm going to film in the back because I do a lot of filming, but then I like to get in the front where I can film the trail more. So But we're going to be heading down the trail. Let me cut it back. There we go. We'll be heading down this trail. They said there's a lot of ups and downs, but it's not no big climb. Like if you was at Cheehaw or Claremont Gap, Adams Gap. So that's a plus. But I'm in shape. I'm ready for some good climbs. I'm looking forward to getting back to the Cheehaw area to do some loops. My youngest daughter, she's wanting to go hiking, so I'm looking forward to trying to get her back on the trail. So they've got here Scott's Lake. Let me flip it around. So that's where we're headed. There's a big group of us, but that's where we're going. So I'm going to get to hiking. I'll cut back on here, but with more views and more beautiful scenery of this the Pinhoti Trail. All right, this is the trail, about a half a mile into it maybe. There's a ditch down there that runs. We've crossed it at least 3 times. They've got some kind of a pipe in the ditch and covered up, so the little land bridges over the ditches or little small creeks. But I'm upset with myself because I'm so excited about hiking. I forgot to turn on my navigational maps to mark my hike, so I just now turned them on, so it's gonna not give me a true mileage, but anyhow, here's what it is. You get excited about hiking and can't wait to get out there. So, but the big group, and I do like hiking with people, but I prefer hiking alone. I like to hike at my own pace, but learning trails and learning new places, I like to go with groups of people and get a knowledge of the landscape, trailheads, things like that. And like I said on my last video, hiking with Anderson Outdoor Association, they're very knowledgeable. Keith and all the other hikers are very knowledgeable of trailheads and you know what's the best southbound, northbound. And when you're a section hiker, you know, you need to know where the trailheads are. It's like, for example, Bull Gap is 16 miles long. Well, I could hike that, but I'll probably cut it up in 2. I just passed something. Well, I'm sorry, I did a quick turnaround, looked like scat on the bear scat, but it wasn't. Bull Gap 16 miles long. I'll probably divide it up into a 10 and a 6. Well, you got to know where the dirt road is to get to the cutoff, where there's a power station right in there. It's about around mile 10 on that trail. So just little things like that, it matters, having knowledge. And if you're a through hiker, you don't have to worry about a lot of stuff like that. But I don't have the time or the luxury to be a through hiker, but I do plan on hiking full Pinhoti in Alabama at least. Been a lot of trees down on this trail, and I'm gonna turn this around. There we are. The young man who's leading is very knowledgeable of the trail. We had found a plant that was a wild ginger, and we picked the leaf, passed it around. It really smelled like ginger. So that was a neat find. But there again, when you're hiking, it's good to know things on the trail, and it's good to hike with people that are knowledgeable about the trail and the wildlife. I'd hike with a fella with Anderson Outdoor Association named Ben. I think he was a biologist or something at JSU professor. He's about 80 years old, and we was hiking with him, and I loved hiking with him. He wasn't the fastest hiker, but he knew the trail. He could tell you everything about why that tree fell and why that rock formation is like it is. And he was just a very interesting character to hike with. So he was 80 then. That was about 8 years ago. So I've wondered several times if he's still hiking. But okay, the trail is it's not flat, but it's no hilly. It's just a winding trail through small hills and there's small ups and downs. But anytime you're out in the great outdoors, Alabama, it's beautiful. But starting to heat up. I'm probably gonna have to take this pullover off. I've got gloves on because my hands were really cold this morning. I'll be shedding those here in just a little bit. All right, well, I'm gonna hike on a little bit. I'm catching back up with the group, and then I'll give you a report of what I find and what I see on the trail, and with more beautiful views and more reviews. All right, we're about a mile into the hike. We've had two join us, and actually two really experienced hikers. They both have through hiked the Pinhoti and through hiked the AT. Highly impressive. But right now we're just going at a slower pace than I'm used to, and I'm the type of hiker I have to have some speed behind me, do at least 3 miles an hour. Then I stop and videotape and video. But the landscape, it's not just breathtaking, but now we're getting into some areas here that we're starting to see some hills and valleys, which is really pretty. And it's a beautiful day. It's a little bit windy, but not a lot of wind within the forest itself. And the trail is very well maintained. All the big logs, all the big trees have been cut and trimmed off the trail. There's a few little small ones like this one coming up. And you know me, do the sweep, make sure there's no snakes on the other side, but I didn't think there were because we just had 14 people just pass by there. So that's the plus about being the last. If there's a snake, it's going to get ones in the first few spots up front. That's a joke, but it's true. But beautiful day. It's starting to warm up. Everybody's talking about taking off their there's some kind of hair. I don't know what that belongs to. Probably a coyote. But everybody's talking about taking off their jacket. I took off my gloves. And I think on the way back, I'm probably gonna put myself in the lead. I'm gonna hike fast out of here. And you know, when I hike slow, I hike fast. I do a lot of filming, I hike slow, but when I'm not filming, I hike fast. You're stopping about every 2 blocks. Every 2/10 of a mile they're stopping and resting. So that's for a hiker who loves to hike fast. It's wearing on my body a little bit. We've had 2 more dogs join us too, so now we have 15 human participants and 5 dogs. And so they're all well behaved. Here's a schnauzer, a lab, some mixed breed, a mixed Australian Shepherd, and then a schnauzer. So that's the 4-legged friends. All right, here's a beautiful little valley right here, and Everybody has stopped, so. See, I'll tell you that little valley. All right, I probably won't do much videotaping before I get to the lake, but if I do see something video worthy, I will cut back on with more review and beautiful views. We're about a mile from the lake, maybe a little more, but these beautiful ravines, a lot like the last trail we hiked between County Road 61 and Pine Glen. These deep ravines remind me of a little bit of the Smoky Mountains. Really beautiful ravines. The trail so far for the first couple of miles and then winding. Little small hills, little small climbs, little small downhills. Nothing too flat, but nothing too tiresome. It's just at the pace everybody's going. I'm used to hiking a little faster, but that's what happens when you hike with a large group. Like I said, we have ended up with 15 people and 5 dogs. But the dogs have been troopers. Can't complain about the dogs. Their behavior has been stellar. But the trail, I said it on the last little portion of the video, has been well maintained. It's starting to heat up. We should come out of this jacket. There's a deep ravine down there, and videotapes and pictures do not do these deep ravines justice when you look at them on the video. So get out here, get on the Pinhoti. If not this trail, this is Porter Gap going towards Jogama Lake or Lake Scott Lake. Get on the Pinhoti. I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed of the views and the vistas and the features you see of the land. This is why they call it Alabama the Beautiful. All right, catching up with my group. So as I get closer to the lake, I'll cut back on, give you more beautiful views and reviews. And before I sign off on this one, the backpack is doing well today. Talon 22, no complaints. Other than it is a little hot, but that's something I'll get used to. The last time I hiked in a cotton shirt, so I've gone with sort of a silky polyester wick away type shirt, so wicks the moisture away. So it's not as hot as it was when I first used it on the Pinhoti. But I will give a better review at the end of the hike. All right, I'll cut back on with more views and reviews. Yeah, we're getting close to the lake now. Just meandering through the Talladega National Forest. I'm not much of a meanderer, but a little creek crossing here. And there's 2 or 3 little creeks that are just running together, and I know they're going to run. Give me a second. They're going to run together to the lake. I want to excuse my stellar camera work, but I'm not as nimble as the younger people have gone ahead of me. I'm not sure about that rock I'm about to step on, if it's slick or loose. So I get my trekking poles. That's why we have them. Trekking poles are a wonderful invention. Sure, it was invented by people who walked in the woods and would pick up a stick. That's what I used to do. And then I had got me a piece of, I think it was hickory, and whittled it up a little bit and carved it up, made me a hiking stick. And I used that hiking stick. I've got pictures of me in that hiking stick back in my 30s. And then as I got older, I graduated to trekking poles. And can't complain about my Momentum trekking pose. The last video I called a Momentum. Very good trekking pose. So far, this will be my third long hike with them. I say long, 4 miles first one, 7 miles the second one. This will be about 6 miles. And I'm just letting, I'm gonna snap my GoPro out. Sorry for the bad camera work. Beautiful ravines. On this trail, the theme would be ravines. And a lake. It's got a, if it's supposed to have a little waterfall. I've seen it on YouTube. I had made mention to a video I watched by JBN Hikes. He's on YouTube. I would check out his videos, and I watch his videos of hiking, and then there's a guy that does videos as the crows fly. I watch his videos. He has some good videos. I watch several different people, but those two I know they're from Alabama. They do a lot of hiking on the Pinhoti and around Alabama, so go to their channel, watch some of their videos. Very good. Yeah, so far the theme of this hike is slow and ravines. My body, I hike at a certain pace, and if I'm not hiking at that pace, my body just gets tired. It's like I'm tired, and I need to hike a little faster, wake my body up. I don't know why I'm made that way. But the trail is beautiful. This section is really beautiful. It'll give you the Smoky Mountain vibe of their landscape, and straight up hills and the ravines. Alrighty. I can see why the trailhead was completely full today of cars. So there's a lot of people out here, not just with our group. There's a lot of people out here. I'm gonna flip it around. Oh, my thumb is stuck. My camera work is not the best today. Seems like I'm off a tad bit. But anyhow, beautiful views out here. It's the Talladega National Forest is a beautiful, well-maintained trail. Like I said, I'm just, it's getting hot. When we get to the lake, I'm gonna take this long sleeve shirt off. I'm just hiking my short sleeve shirt, my normal hiking shirt. Didn't wear cotton today. Last time it just heated me up too much, and just, well, I was soaking wet when I was done. All right, well, we're about to get closer to the lake, and I'll cut back on for more views and reviews. And until then, let me hike on. All right, this is gonna be my second video. something happened on my first video I made, so I'm not going to be able to put that on YouTube. But these are part of what used to be 3 cabins. There's a young lady that is hiking with us that told us the history of it. She's supposed to be a historian of the Pinhoti Trail. But a man named Scott, the lake is named Lake Scott Lake. There's another name too, and that name ended up being Jogama Lake, which was actually part of his wife and daughter's names. Anyhow, he had built these 3 cabins, and he took these creeks that came together and he built a dam to back up a lake for these 3 cabins he built, and he rented them out. This is back in the 40s, and there's part of the lake. And see if I can remember. And then he sold the land to the forest division to maintain the national forest. And the people who, the National Forest Division was going to keep the cabins going, but people would come up here and they was, you know, destroying the cabins, so they eventually just, my hat's flying off, sorry. It is windy, my hat just took off, I caught it. So they end up allowing the cabins to be dismantled, and that's all that's left was the rock work. So and here's a big ditch here, but I can see where everybody was crossing. Well, not big ditch, a big mud hole. You can see people have been riding up through here. I don't know where, it must be a trail that some kind of road that leads up to this area. Was there definitely tire marks. I've fallen way behind, but I meant to videotape that, and people had stopped and were getting in the way of the video of the first one, so I'm gonna have to delete that one, and this will be the video I'll have for Scott's Lake. We're going to be going to the dam, and there's supposed to be a waterfall. My hair all sweaty. I was going to turn around, and this is what I look like without the hat on a hike. But it's not about my looks, it's about the views and the reviews. With this hike, we're 3 miles into the hike, a little over 3 miles. This is Scott Lake. I'm sorry, my camera work right now. I'm struggling. I'm on the struggle bus, and the trail is snakes through the ravines, a few little ups and a few little downs, and there's some. Then you got to just a few little flat spots. But for the first 3.5 miles, it's very moderate. It's nothing strenuous, nothing that. There's 2 people on this hike who's never hiked before, so they're doing fine. And there's 6, I think 6 or 7 very experienced hikers. And there's 2 people on this hike who are very knowledgeable of the Pinhoti and the wildlife in Alabama. Well, that makes it interesting, but still, I'm a faster hiker. I get a little impatient. All right, I think we're going to have a little bit of a snack, and I'll take some videos of the creeks and the waterfalls. So we'll catch up with my group, and I'll cut back on here with more views and reviews. This is the falls at Lake Scott. This is where they had dammed up the creeks to make the lake. Alright, I'm gonna make my way down from this island, and I'm gonna wear my GoPro. It's not much. There was a young girl about 12 here. She's hopping around here like a bunny rabbit. But when you're 59, had a hip replacement, you're not hopping nowhere. You're leaning and trusting. All right, that was that. Stand on this little rock and do some more recording. I've watched video of people crossing this little creek, and I tell you what, it's like a tough task. I'd have to find me another area to cross. I think it'd be a little bit too deep right there for me. Yeah, that's probably the area I'd have to cross right in here. But I don't have to worry about that today. I'm gonna make my way through the woods. Check this little creek out. Oh, this is absolutely beautiful. That is spectacular. I'm wondering if it flows into Talladega Creek. Oh, I wish the trail ran beside that right there. That right there is beautiful. Now, I'm going to take a few pictures with my phone. But that's the creek coming off the lake. Small creek feeding into it. And it winds its way down by that rock formation. Oh, this would be a nice place to tube a little bit in the summertime. Took a video with my GoPro of this. This is the creek that comes off the lake. There's another small creek that feeds into it. I just want to take a video with my phone, and it is absolutely beautiful. These are the views that you hike for right here. I'm about to start heading back, so I'm going to catch up with my group and be back on the trail. All right. This is the lake, Scott Lake. I'm gonna hike, see if I can get to the waterfall. Probably not. No, I'm not gonna attempt it. But this is Scott Lake, and from what I understand, there's not too many more water sources between here and Adams Gap. Maybe two when it's wet season. So a lot of people who are doing planning through hikes have to have water caches dropped off for Bulls Gap, Paramount Gap. But there again, I've never hiked through hikes, so I don't. I'm only speaking from what I have read on the Pinhoti Facebook page and seen in video. But you know, I have hiked in just sections, and I've hiked so I can carry enough water, but I do carry a filter with me just in case I need water. And I do the smart water bottle, which the filter fits on. But I'm hiking ahead of everybody, so I can hike a little bit at my pace. So I'm gonna get up here, and there's a couple of spots I didn't videotape. I didn't film. I never know what the proper lingo. It's not videotape anymore. I'm filming, but when you look at it, it says video, so I'll say video. There's Keith. All right, I'm gonna catch up here to the top, and then I'll cut back on for more reviews and views, or views and reviews, and then I will close it out. I'm gonna videotape this with my GoPro. I took some pictures, I know, with my phone. I'm not quite sure if I did any video of this. I love this ravine right here. And I know you can't see it, but there's a little stream that feeds us right into here. I mean, this is just absolutely beautiful right in this area. And as I had made mention before, this trail, its theme is ravines. It snakes through ravines, and so every trail is going to have a theme. Some will be water features, some will be big vistas and rock climbs. This here is mostly is ravines, and it's a nice hike. It's just a moderate hike. It's not a difficult hike whatsoever. And just beautiful. It's the Pinhoti. I've never had a bad day on the Pinhoti. I fell twice on the Pinhoti, but I did have a bad day. But I'm hiking a little ahead of the group. I'm not under a strict time restraint, but I can't hike till 4 o'clock this afternoon. And it's a 3-mile hike back. It took us 2 miles, 2 hours to hike 3 miles. So I'm hiking back ahead of the group, because I can normally hike 3 miles in a little over an hour. And I'm not trying to speed hike, but I am on a little restraint. Beautiful. I just love these creeks. And it's going to be a little bit more uphilly on the way back. And I can't climb a hill with somebody in front of me. I have to take certain strides and steps to climb that hill my speed. So we're fixing to start on an uphill ascent. So let me get my trekking post ready and put this camera up. And here comes some hikers. And let me get on the trail, and I'll cut back on at the end of the trail and give you a review. All right. I'm going to hike a little bit with the GoPro on my backpack and just pick up some of the trail. I had to separate myself from the group. Told my wife I'd try to be home around 1:30, and a big group like that don't go really fast, so I figured it was going to be 2:30 before we got back to the car. 30-minute drive, so I'm put on the afterburners. But this trail has been spots of beauty. It has a couple of boring spots, but all in all, there's a lot of beautiful features. Right now, there's a lot of pine straw on the ground. Makes it slick, slickery. I'm hiking hard. I had 2 men pass me. And I'm talking about 2 older guys my age, probably, or just a little younger. Tall, thin. Man, they passed me like I was standing still. And they looked like they were hiking without effort. I look like I'm halfway trying to run.
They were long, smooth strides. And I'm not tall, so. Oh, but I'm winded. I've gone hard for a mile and a half. A little over 3 miles back, so I'm almost at 5 miles. So I got a little over a mile and a quarter maybe. It's about 30 minutes. But I'm hot. I don't feel like taking the shirt off. As soon as I do, the wind will pick up. It starts getting cold again. Oh, that is a beautiful view. I don't know if I had videotaped this or not. Or videoed. Alright, I'm gonna stop here and take my shirt off. I'll pull over. Alright. There's the sign. I am close to the trailhead. I'm tired. The group I was hiking with, a small group just passed me. I asked them where were they at, and they said they're still about a mile and a half behind us. So I hate to run off and leave them, but I can't. It took 3 hours to get to the lake, nearly. Yeah, so almost a mile an hour. I hike close to 3 miles an hour. So, and I've got to get home. I got things to do. This has been a good hike. Beautiful landscape. The waterfall was the crown jewel of the hike. Now I'm coming up on the trailhead. It feels good. I'm tired. My shoulder's hurting. I hiked really hard this last 3 miles. And hardest I've hiked in a while. I don't mind taking my time. It's just a lot of people take a long time. So, but I separated myself and made some time back to the car or my truck. But this has been a 7-mile hike, 3.5 to Lake Scott, 3.5 back. And I'm gonna turn the camera around. Whew, tired. This is the Porter Gap Trailhead, Talladega National Forest, hack to Scotts Lake. And you can probably tell I'm tired. And back 7 miles, a little over 7 miles. We hiked to the dam to the waterfall. But it's a beautiful day, and it's warmed up a little bit, and it feels good. And I'm at my truck, and I'll be glad to sit down and get some water and get something to eat. But I hope you enjoy this video, the views and review of the trail. The trail is immaculate, and a lot of small ups and downs, and it winds through the valleys. It's not a hard hike, good moderate hike. It's not a lot of flat area, but I would recommend it if you're looking for a good moderate hike. All right, well, I'm going to end this hike. It's been a beautiful day, a wonderful hike. I just want to encourage you to get out there and get out into the great outdoors of Alabama. Get out on the Pinhoti Trail or whatever outdoors is around your area. Enjoy what Alabama has to offer. And until I get back on the trail, enjoy yourself. And I hope you'll check out my other videos of Panama Jack hikes. Until the next time I get out on the trail, you'll have a good one.